Good evening, everybody. I see several of you tuning in already. We'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. Hope everybody's doing all right, having a good Saturday evening. Still got about 4 minutes until the show. Go ahead and get it. Share it out there. Get as many people watching as you can. Already see Dave in the house. Robert, KF0DKZ. There is potential I could give away a radio tonight. I don't know if y'all seen that notification. 10 yellow super chats or better, I'll throw a Baofeng in. We'll do a Baofeng giveaway, so get people in here watching. We'll be with you here shortly. All right, we're about 1 minute away. Again, go ahead and share out the link. Get as many people watching as we can. Appreciate everybody tuning in for tonight's AMA. Y'all made the Superchat Goal work on Thursday night. So here we are. I am a man of my word. I will prove it every single time. So we'll be coming up here in just a minute. Appreciate y'all joining. See Chris in the chat, see Jacob in the chat, and Alt Dale's in the house. Good to see several of you. If you haven't jumped in the chat yet, go ahead and jump in there and let us know who's watching. All right, 8 o'clock straight up. What do you say we do this thing? Let's go. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to HamShackTV. I'm your host, Josh A4WX. Appreciate y'all being here, and tonight's episode is not sponsored by Sonic. However, Sonic, if you'd like to advertise on the show, I'm willing to talk to you. Josh at AA4WX.com. I'm totally kidding. Cherry limeade hits the spot. How's everybody doing tonight? Appreciate y'all coming in. Y'all made the Superchat Goal happen the other night. So I promised that we would do a special stream, Ask Me Anything, and they call that an AMA stream in the streaming world, so I figured I'd do it. So here we are. We'll do it. Super Chats are open. We do have a Super Chat Goal tonight. 10. If we have 10 Super Chats that are yellow or better, that means $10 or better, we will give away some sort of a bow thing tonight. Not going to make it too fancy or anything like that, but 10 Super Chats, we'll do a bow thing of some sort. Maybe the DMR bow thing. Matter of fact, yeah, it'd probably be the DMR bow thing. Unless popular opinion changes on that. We'll find out. All right, let's check the chat, see who's all here. Let's see here. Andy's in the house, N0APX. Guys, go check out N0APX antennas. I think you're going to enjoy them. Fantastic. Everybody, I don't have one personally yet, but tell you what, from everybody I've talked to, they love these things. So Andy builds them himself. You'll know you're getting something directly from Andy, so go check out N0APX antennas. I believe it's N0APX.com. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I know Andy will correct me. Let's see here. Chris is in the house. Good to see Chris. Jacob, AI5XR. Jacob came out and helped me with a VE test the other night, so appreciate him. We passed a new extra, and it's actually somebody that I was able to test all the way from technician all the way up to extra. So I'm very, very pleased with that. Matter of fact, it's a channel member. Matter of fact, there's Andy's website. But yeah, it's channel member John Bublitz. You see his name scrolling right here, right now. There you go. Appreciate John, and congratulations on his Alpha Echo. Let's see here. Who else is in the house? M&L Radio Technology. Got a shout out, Leroy. Appreciate him. Guys, August 7th will be the 1-year anniversary of HamShackTV. We're having a birthday celebration right here. And I am, without question, giving away a radio that night. Thanks to Leroy and M&L Radio Technologies, we're going to give away a Redivus MA1. These are one of the hottest radios on the market right now for VHF, UHF. Got the black background, but the white letters. Very, very sleek, detachable face. Excuse me. Detachable face, and it does crossband repeat, all kinds of great stuff, guys. It's fantastic. You're going to want to win that. So remember, August 7th, go ahead and write it on your calendar, August 7th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And it'll be the same old crew as usual, but maybe a few other faces coming in, hanging out with us. So make sure you check into that. And also, don't forget, World Radio League's throwing in a basic membership along with that. So you're going to walk away with some good stuff if you win that thing. Like I said, Dave earlier, Dave's in the house. Everybody hit that like button. Andy also says it's going to be a blast. It really will be a blast. We had a lot of fun with POTA Power on the other night. Hopefully they'll be here as well. Who else? Who else is in the chat that I have? Alt Dave, we talked about him. And Robert KF0DKZ's in the house. I think I'm up to date. See everybody in here. And Jacob says he loves that 20-meter biscuit antenna from N0APX. So y'all go check it out if you haven't already. I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you're a POTA guy. I don't do a whole lot of POTA. I just pull up in the truck and go on. But anyway, let's see here. So Ask Me Anything. Let's start out with that. Ground rules for the Ask Me Anything. No questions about personal questions about family. At least anything that would be intrusive. And also no financial questions, please. Other than that, let's rock and roll. What do you want to know? And no, I'm not giving anybody my social security number. It's an Ask Me Anything, but I still have discretion on things. Let's see here. Andy's got a great question. This is a good startup. And again, tonight's episode is not sponsored by Sonic. Josh at a4wx.com for a sponsorship inquiry. But this is a diet cherry limeade. Not my typical drink of choice. I clicked on the wrong one. I'll get to you here in a minute, Chris. Not my drink of choice from Sonic, but I wanted something different today. Usually what I reach for at Sonic, and my doctor would kill me because I'm type 2 diabetic. I have to stay away from sugary drinks, but usually I reach for the ocean water. I really, really like the ocean water at Sonic. But cherry limeade's a good backup there. Let's move back on down here to Chris. The best way to ground a station in a high lightning area, which is not as simple as a ground rod. I'm not a grounding expert. I'll just be quite blunt about that. I actually had to call in some reinforcements to help me get my station and my house, for that matter, properly grounded. We had determined, we had found out at one point that my house, boy, my mic's just not comfortable tonight. My house didn't have any ground whatsoever. Not electrical ground, not RF ground, nothing. We suspect that potentially, it may have been grounded to the copper piping at one point, but it was not grounded. So we got an electrical ground. I have 3 ground rods out there right now. 2 of them are RF grounds. One's just electric ground. But I don't know if I'm the right person to ask about grounding advice. My advice to you, 2 different things. One, consult an electrician, a licensed and bonded electrician on that. And the other, seek out somebody that's very knowledgeable about RF ground that may be in your club or something like that. That's exactly what I did in my case. Andy asked, iPhone or Samsung? Yes, I know you have a Mac, but some of us are cross-platformers. Yeah, absolutely. And some people are cross-platformers. Some of you are, some of you aren't. For me, I'm Apple all the way, 100%. Trying to think, do I own any Windows or Android machines? I can't say that I do. I do run Parallels on my Mac Mini here. This is my big computer. It's my Mac Mini with the M4 chip in it. I do run Parallels for that. That's got some ham radio software, ham radio deluxe, things like that on it. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty much Mac all the way across the board. I do own a Windows HP PC. I don't have it here in front of me right now, but I do own one that I will take out in the field for certain things when it comes to ham radio. Maybe I want to run FT8 or something, even though you can run FT8 on Mac, but that's what I typically do. Let's see here. Chris says, to connect these ground rods together using heavy gauge copper wire prior to radio. That seems incomplete. Maybe I'm missing something there. Andy says, I like Apple a lot. I have a MacBook, an iPad. I haven't jumped over to an iPhone. Buddy, that's where I started, was the iPhone. iPhone is what kind of hooked me. I was all Windows and Android prior to meeting my wife. 12, going on 12. We've been married 11 years now, so 12 years ago we met. And I was all Android and Windows at the time, but watching her play with her with her iPhone, I got intrigued with it. I liked how clean the design was and things like that. How apps never really crashed or anything like that. So when it was time for me to upgrade, I switched over to iPhone. And then she also had a MacBook Pro. That machine is now deceased, but I was very intrigued with it as well. So that's kind of what inspired me to move over into the Apple world. What is my current inventory of Apple products? I have an iPhone, I have the Apple Watch, I have an iPad, I have the Mac Mini M4 with the M4 chip in it. I got, trying to think, I've got a MacBook Air. At work, I have a MacBook Pro as well. I think that's got them all covered. I have Apple TV out there. So, yeah. We've got we're pretty fluent in Apple around here. W0MET, Marvin's in house, ham radio guy. Good to see you, buddy. Glad to see you in here. Chris says the more the better. Two connections, 3 is better. Yes, absolutely. The more grounding opportunities that you have, do it. It's good. One thing that I'm struggling with right now is that I have an HF Mobile. I run a 7100 in my truck, and it's just noisy. It's straight up noisy all the time. And and you expect it to be somewhat noisy because it's a low profile antenna, things like that. I run the little Outbacker antenna. It's tailgate mounted. One thing that I have been told is that I should put a ground strap on it, in which I was lucky enough to acquire a ground strap from KK4PAL, Ham Radio Unleashed. Guys, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. And I've got it. Haven't put it in yet. And I don't know how to put it in. I need to do some research on how to put it in. But grounding is one of the most important things that you can do with ham radio. Dave says yes, but make sure the ground rods are at least 8 foot apart. That is solid advice. That is definitely solid advice. 8 foot apart. Chris says SWR under 2-to-1 is good enough. When chasing 1-to-1 is a waste of time. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say chasing 1-to-1 is a waste of time. I really don't want 2-to-1 SWR. I really don't want that because you're losing so much power. It's not minuscule. It's quite a bit of it's quite a bit of loss there. Leroy says ground coaxial cable. Sure, absolutely. Jacob says, are you getting an attenuator whine when you're with your HF Mobile? Very slight. Very, very slight. I don't think that's the bulk of it. I just think it's low profile and a lot of high voltage power lines. But yeah, a little bit of alternator whine, but it's minuscule. Leroy says 8 foot ground rod. Yes, 8 foot ground rod for sure. Chris says 2-to-1 loss 10%, 1-to-1 is 1.5. Okay, well, I still would rather not. I still would rather not have that loss. Let's see here. Andy says, sounds like a ham operator story. Yeah, I met my wife, and I've been an Apple guy ever since. For sure. Let's see here. Dave asked, can I run off of an external battery? Of course I could. Of course I could, but this is my primary mobile rig. Primarily, I use that 7100 for VHF and UHF and D-Star. But it does HF as well. So usually when I'm operating HF like a POTA Park or something, a lot of times, I kill the air conditioner and everything like that. I have heard air conditioner noise for sure. And yeah, a i5XR Jacob says, okay then, takes what I had in mind. Cool. Guys, I've got to step out for just a quick moment. I will be right back here in just a second. stand by. Appreciate y'all being here. Don't forget, 10 yellow Super Chats or better, I'll give away a Balfane tonight of some sort. A better one, not the $14 one for sure. Be right back. And no, for your all's reference, I was not putting the tutu back on. No Jason the Knight, so we're not getting harassed about the tutu thing. So anyway, thank you for your patience. Appreciate y'all sticking around. Let's see. What else? Chris is asking, name a few propagation tools in the chat. First one that's coming to mind for me is spaceweather.com. A lot of good stuff on that. But yeah, you guys in the chat, throw some out there. Dave, Andy, y'all throw some ideas out. Well, yeah, World Radio League. For sure. That they do have a future. A future. They have a future for sure, but they have a feature for that as well. As a matter of fact, I'll show you that. Hang on a minute. Okay. Share screen. But if you're looking for forecasting, spaceweather.com is great. It's great. There's a lot here. So here's World Radio League, guys. Don't forget you can go to worldradioleague.com, and if you get a paid membership, so the basic, the premium, or the VIP, and you use my coupon code HamShackTV10, you'll get 10% off. So that is a fantastic tool there. But this is World Radio League, and right at the very top of the page here, you see band conditions. You click on that and check that out. You've got Your bands, you got your conditions during the day and during the night. Your signal noise, S0 to S1, sunspot number, your A index, your K index, and your SFI number. So really good information. That is good for real-time stuff. And again, for forecasting, check out spaceweather.com. But yeah, for nowcasting, so to speak, World Radio League's great, guys. Again, don't forget worldradioleague.com and use my coupon code HamShackTV10. And by the way, I do want to say you do not have to have a paid membership. You can use World Radio League right out of the box for free. But you do get a lot of extra features if you do have the paid subscription. So check that out. Let's see here. Jacob says, I agree with Andy about World Radio League. Smile to Andy there from Chris. AWRL, CW, voice, and digital bulletins. Yes and no, but I feel like that stuff is dated by the time you get it. But I don't really like the AWR anymore. Don't blame you. Y'all know my opinions on the AWRL. They ain't getting another penny out of me, at least until there's some change. Joel says the Ham Clock app is nice. Yes, there is some. You can get that exact same information I just showed you on World Radio League from your Ham Clock if you have one. Dave says, Jacob, I had a successful activation, but the video recording went sideways. So yeah, Dave had a POTA activation this morning, and it is Support Your Parks weekend. So some good stuff there. Also says we'll be doing a video on how to fail a activation video on YouTube. I've done a couple of those. Chris says, Andy, bands are via ViaCap, or let's see here, VoaCap. I don't see an answer, so I don't know where the sourcing is coming from, but hopefully he's still in the chat and can let us know. Let's see. Joel says, I like VA3 HDL and Ham Dashboard 2. Not familiar with that one. Let me look that up. Okay, it's a GitHub thing. So, okay. Here's the thing, guys. And I have said this many, many times, and there's nothing wrong with what you guys are doing. Nothing wrong with it at all. But here's my philosophy. You shouldn't have to be a freaking computer programmer to do ham radio stuff. If you just ask me, so many ham radio applications are coming out of GitHub, and that's fine, and I understand why. They're open source, but anytime... Yeah, I think anytime I've had to go grab something out of GitHub, I can't get it to work. I can't get it to work. For one, I don't run Linux. But I know a lot of this stuff you can do with Windows as well, and even Mac in some cases. But yeah, I hate this stuff that you have to do the GitHub stuff. And there's been radios that I have programmed that are a pain in the butt because you have to make changes in command line and stuff like that. And I streamline it, folks. Streamline this stuff. Y'all have got to know how. If y'all can build it, you can at least build an install type platform. Make it simple to put together. Not stuff that I have to go to. Not stuff that I have to go to get or go into Python or command line or something like that to do. That's what grinds my gears. There are two types of ham radio operators. If you ask me, well, three types. You've got your traditionals that don't give a crap about anything that has to do with a computer on ham radio. And then you've got two other types. One is the folks that are into the computer downloading and the GitHub stuff, the computer programmers, things like that. The others are people like me, appliance users. We don't want to customize. Well, to an extent. We don't want to customize everything. We don't want open source stuff necessarily. We want something that works right out of the box. That's what we like as appliance users. And I feel like the appliance users are getting missed on some things. That's one reason I'm a big fan of the OpenSpot. The OpenSpot is practically ready to go as soon as you get it out of the box. You just got to sign into it and tell it what frequency, put your call sign stuff in, and boom, you're off to the races pretty much. Yeah, you can explain it all you want, Chris, HTML on desktop and stuff like that. I don't know anything about HTML, and neither does 99% of computer users. It's just one of those things. You have to, and yeah, you keep saying releases. You can help make it code. I get that. Not everybody knows that stuff. And that just because we don't know how to code and we don't know Linux and Python and command line and all that stuff, that doesn't mean we should be excluded. That's what bothers me about this stuff. Ham radio and computer programming are two totally different things. Yes, you should know quite a bit about these radios in order to operate it, and that's a bad idea. I just realized I had my iPad sitting on top of my 7300, so it's a little warm. Luckily, I'm not operating at the moment, but nonetheless, it needs to be simplified for the users. And you made a comment a minute ago about download releases and updates and things like that. That's fine too. But most every application out there, Windows or Mac based, you can schedule updates. You shouldn't have to go to the website, download it, and reinstall it. You should just be able to update it straight out of the app. What do they call it? Search for updates on some app, something like that. I'm not trying to be a jerk. Don't get me wrong. But it's just something that grinds my gears. I'm not a computer programmer. I am, well, professionally, I'm a video production person. You know, I have no interest in learning that stuff. I just don't. I've got plenty of friends that do. So, for long story short, if I have an issue like that, I typically lean on friends out there that know that kind of stuff. Shout out to NA4WX, good friend of mine, Jordan. He's helped me with a lot of stuff. But yeah, OpenSpot versus the MMDBMs. MMDBMs are a nightmare to set up if you don't know what you're doing. They really, really are. That's the only Raspberry Pi based thing I've got. Well, that DV Megacast, but this is an example of what I'm talking about. Utility or appliance users. That thing right there, that DV Megacast, while yes, it's a fancy Raspberry Pi, it's pretty much ready out of the box. I just had to find what the IP address was, which I can find it on the device, log into it, drop my call sign and that stuff on it, and boom, we're off to the races. Let's see here. Tortoise says, evening all. Appreciate you, Tortoise. See you in here. Your name is several times in the scroll down here. I'm doing something a little new tonight, guys. So Tortoise reminded me. We're going to keep track of Super Chat records. Those have been really nice lately. And guys, I can't say how much I appreciate those. Those go a long way. A long way. So we've got, if you want to break the record and show up down there's two things you can do. One, you can get a channel membership. The other one is break the Super Chat records, and I've got them broken down by all time, this year, this month, and current stream. So anyway, Tortoise has got a lot of those records because he did a $100 Super Chat. And there's the first Super Chat of the night. You know what that means. Play the clip if I can find it. There it is.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
All right, let's.
Appreciate the 10 from Tortoise. That's one. Need 9 more yellow Super Chats or better, and we'll give away a Baofeng HT. It won't be the $14 one. It'll be a decent one. But 9 Super Chats more yellow or greater. That's $10 or greater. We'll give that radio away. Appreciate the 10 there, Tortoise, and we'll get you on there get you in the banner for a fourth time. I don't even know how many times you're in there now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you're in there 4 times now. So let me add you back to the scroll. Y'all are probably hearing the dog going out in the background. Sorry about that. I don't know if y'all are hearing it or not. All right. That's updated. Cool. Thanks for the 10, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's see here. I must have missed this somewhere. Yep, Colin VK is here. WPSD is an excellent hotspot and very easy to set up. I don't have any experience with WPSD. I'm quite curious about that. Quite curious. Let's see here. Chris also says, I had 24-hour updates, but hey, I was around since Q-Link Internet. I have no idea what Q-Link Internet is. Let's see here. Dave saying howdy to Colin. Just a bunch of greetings here. Dave says, Colin, I agree with you on WPSD. Really easy to set up. I need to look into that. And that's one of the beauty things about HamShackTV, guys. You know, is I'm learning with you all. I don't know everything. I don't know everything there is to know clearly. And I probably get a lot of things wrong on the channel, but, you know, that's all part of learning. But, yeah, I'm going to look into this WPSD. I'm not familiar with it. Colin says to Dave, and having all the separate profiles makes switching different modes easy. Well, and that's one thing I can say about the open spots. I think you have 10 different profiles. For me, I just use 6 different profiles. I have one for DMR, one for Fusion, one for D-Star, and then I have cross modes available as well. Let's see here. What else do we got? Dave says, yes, it does. WPSD is on all my hotspots. Need to look that up. All right, guys, we've reached the end of the chat here. Again, welcome into the Ask Me Anything, the AMA stream. Appreciate you guys being here. We've talked about the Superchat Goal already. We're 1 out of 10. Need 9 more to make that giveaway happen tonight. Go ahead and hit that like button and share the stream out. Get as many people watching as you can. This is an odd stream, a very odd stream for me to do. You know, Saturday nights are not when I normally stream, but the reason I did it is because y'all made the Super Chat Goal happen on Thursday night. So we certainly appreciate that. But yeah, this is the reward for that Super Chat. Super Chat Goal is we were going to do an AMA stream, so here we are. Ask me anything. The only rules are no personal questions about family, and also no financial questions, please. Dave says, even the open spot can be in a pain in the rear. I know I have an open spot for Pro. I do too. And what I can say, I had the MMDVM for quite some time, and it was a pain in the butt. It disconnect, all kinds of different things. When I bought the Open Spot 4 Pro, all that went away. There's certain things that are difficult about it, but by and large, it's a lot simpler than the MMDVMs. Oh boy, got another one in the house. Jason, that one don't count towards the Super Chat Goal. It's got to be yellow or better, but he don't care about the goal. He just wants to see the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
All right, let's...
Irregardless, we appreciate the 2, Jason.
Money isn't...
Ooh, I almost gave a freebie away. Shame on me. Appreciate the two, buddy. Glad to see you in here. Let's see here. AE4IT in the house. Hey, Josh. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Anybody got other questions here? Matter of fact, here's one. Dave Hillbilly Ham says, what made you bring a bunch of little YouTubers into the round table? Nobody else would come. I'm totally kidding. No. No. Why did I? I don't really know, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't really know. It just, we did that, and it's kind of funny how it happened. We were doing the trading post, and it just kind of happened. And then after it happened, y'all I don't remember how, but I invited y'all in, and we just sat there and had a great time that night. And it's morphed and evolved, and it's getting better and better and better and better. I would venture to say it's on par with Clubhouse now, and stays on topic more. I got to take a shot at those guys. I love them to death. I'm a channel member to them, but I got to take a shot. They get way off in the weeds with their cigars and stuff like that. But no, I'm happy to do it, and I'm happy to have you guys on, and y'all are welcome as long as y'all want to keep coming, for sure. Let's see here. Tortoise says, who you calling little? Oh, me. Let's see here. Dave says he's had a blast doing it. Well, I'm glad you do. I'm glad you have. You should always do it if it's fun. You know what I mean? And Jason says to reach out to the hobby, of course. Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's how HamShackTV started, I've got, some... just wanted to get folks more exposure to the hobby. That's what ham radio needs more than anything right now, is exposure. Get some more people in here. So many people don't realize, and I've done it again. Oh, here it is. So many people don't realize that this thing will not work everywhere and all the time. It's not going to work. These are, and I'm pointing at the computer monitors, they're not going to work all the time. You need an alternative. And I will be so bold to say this. This is pretty bold. My belief is every family in the United States of America, and even the world for that matter, but every family in the United States should have at least one ham radio operator. Totally believe that. You never know when the SHTF stuff happens, That's who we're going to lean on, stuff like that. Dave says Andy started it when he was on the stream and he said you should bring me in. That was probably it. You're probably not wrong. Jason says, who you calling small? Dave says, we got off the rails last night. Well, that was not before last, but I didn't think so. I didn't think we got off the rails. I thought it was a really good conversation. So one thing that you guys, the general audience, don't see is the production that's going in beforehand. I've been building out rundowns and trying to stick to them. But I don't think we got off the rails. Oh, Lord, we got a bunch of bickering in the chat here. And Jason's not wrong. Money is everything. The world doesn't go for free. Let's see here. AE4IT says, I had a blast at the Milton Ham Fest. So cool. I bought a PC for $35 there and a free monitor. Very nice. And Jason's stuck on the Aurora. Let's see here. Bob Stone's in the house. I haven't seen you around here before. Welcome into HamShackTV. Appreciate y'all being here. Specifically you, Bob. Good to see you. KM7ARX. Good evening, everyone, from sunny and hot Las Vegas. Well, I can tell you I can agree to that. I was in Las Vegas for a business conference June of last year, and no kidding, it was 117 degrees. 117 degrees. No thank you. But good to see you in here, Bob. Thanks for coming in. Joel is asking, did any of you try the 13 Colony special event? QSL cards are rolling in. I've got the certificate today. Well, that's awesome. I did, and I did get the clean sweep. However, I haven't submitted anything yet, and I don't know why. But I hope to get that submitted here soon. AE4IT has a question. What gave you the name HamShackTV? So this whole thing, that's a good question. This whole thing started almost a year ago. August 7th will be the year anniversary. But it started with a whole different idea than what it has turned into. I started playing around on Amazon and learned about the affiliate program and started getting in on that. And it was actually in my wife's court. That's kind of where we started on it, because she buys stuff on Amazon all the time. I really don't, unless it's something I want. I buy more stuff on Amazon now than I did before, but we were just going to make a blog website with deals between a blog and Pinterest with deals on different things that you could find on Amazon. And then it just started evolving, and I got to doing more and more and more and more, and I'm like, I could do something with YouTube on this. And I'd known Jason for a couple of years by that point, KC5HWB, Ham Radio 2.0. Go subscribe if you haven't. But I'm like, I really don't want to compete with him, but there's plenty of space to compete, and we have a good friendly relationship. But HamShackTV, the original name for HamShackTV was AA4WX's. Yeah, AA4WX's Ham Shack and Electronics. That's what I originally named it. And I was going to feature both ham radio stuff and electronics. Now it's morphed into more ham radio than anything. But we do throw some electronics in there. But I got to looking at, a lot of my competitors' their YouTube handles. I'm like, what could I do that would fit the niche and the algorithm might pick up? And so I thought of HamShackTV. I had a personal family YouTube channel a few years ago. Never really got traction with it, but I've always used TV in stuff, and that's what I do for a living. I'm a broadcaster, but HamShack just fit. No one was doing it. Nobody had that name. Everybody had ham radio this and ham radio that, and God bless them, Ham Radio Crash Course, Ham Radio 2.0, Ham Radio Technology, Ham Radio Crusader. I wanted something a little different from just the words ham radio. So, Ham Shack, you that's what you do. It's the Ham Shack. I wanted Radio Shack TV, but I don't have good enough lawyers to pull that one off, even though they're pretty much out of business. But good question, AE4IT. Appreciate that one. Let's see, what else do we have here? Dave says he got 12 out of the 13 and one of the extra stations. That's great. Talking about the 13 colonies. Jason says he has adopted POTA Power mom, dad now. Okay. Interesting. Joel says towards AE4IT, is expecting slow scan info channel when I first saw it. Slow scan TV info channel. Oh, because of the logo. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I fooled with slow scan, and I love slow scan. I really do. It's a lot of fun. HRD is really weird about changing modes. And I use the FT8 far more than I do the Digital Master 780 stuff. So I haven't really messed with it much more recently, but it's a lot of fun. Slow scanning is a lot of fun. Let's see here. Yep. So we're caught up in the chat. Alpha 4 Whiskey X-Ray. I'm glad I don't sound like that. I know some folks that do. And I've talked to plenty of people that sound like that on HF. But speaking of one that talks like that, and he's a great YouTuber, very, very loosely organized channel. Go check him out. KE4BFG. KE4BFG, radioactive YouTube channel. He's got some cool stuff, just shack stuff and personal stuff and that kind of thing. Andy is peddling some product here and asks, since it's AMA, do you have room on your key ring for a call sign keychain? I don't know. Probably. This is a lot of keys. It's a lot of keys. Let me go through just to show you. AirTag. This is one of my favorite keychains I've ever gotten. This was personally made for me by an old colleague who's actually a ham too. When I worked at WBIR. But it's wood burn. 10 WBIR straight from the heart. And put my name on the back of it. But this is one of my favorites. I love this keychain. Don't know what that key's for. My safe key. Parents' house key. I still keep this. This is my high school locker key. Still have it today. Storm door, church key. Another key to the parents' house. My house key. I don't remember what this one's for. Truck key. Ford. Shout out to 2.0. My wife's van key. Key tags. Gotta love these key tags. I have Alcoa Chiropractic, which I don't use. AutoZone. And the Wendy's Free Frosty tag. By the way, guys, no affiliation whatsoever. But if your Wendy's in your area does these, buy you one of these stupid tags. These are fantastic. I think they charge you $4 or $5 for them. But these are great. You are entitled to a free small Frosty with any purchase with these for a year. Fantastic. And those proceeds go to support the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, which that's a special meaning to us. We have never adopted, but we were foster parents at one point. So, yeah, if your Wendy's in your area does that, get one. They're awesome. This is an old security alarm I don't have anymore. These are great. Y'all have probably seen these before. It's emergency rope. And then I think we've pretty much gotten down into it. These are all work keys. I have 4 keys for work. And then Tim Michelli, KE3 or KA3WYE gave me this. It's just a patch for the Tennessee Advanced Communication Network TACN. This is not amateur radio. This is emergency radio. So State Highway Patrol, Tennessee Department of Transportation, all of them have this. So kind of like a challenge coin in a sense, but this is a patch. Love that. Appreciate him giving me that. So yeah, cool. Yeah, I probably have room. Let's see here. Hope that don't hang off your ignition. It does. However, I have a little trick. I know what you're thinking. I take this carabiner, attach it to the gear shift in my truck. That takes the weight off of the ignition. Never had, and I've always carried a lot of keys, and I don't buy that. I could be wrong, but I don't buy people saying that the weight is bad on your ignition, because I've done that for, let's see, I've been driving now for 20 years. Yeah, I got my license 20 years ago, and I've never ever had a problem with keys hurting the ignition. Here we go. Pink tutu. Nope, not happening. Not tonight. Not tonight. Still haven't hit that Superchat Goal either. We still got 9 to go on that. Dave says my wife has one of those key tags. I think you're talking about the Wendy's key tag. Absolutely. Tortoise says he's got room for a key tag. So there you go. And that they are available in the N0APX store. N0APX.com/store. Go check them out. Get you one. Dave says it's gotten better, but he has had it mess up the ignition. I think it just has to do with what model vehicle you have. Like, I would say if I did this with my 1992 or 93, whatever it was, Mercury Cougar, my first car, yeah, that would probably hurt the ignition. But every vehicle that I've had, and that was the oldest vehicle I ever had, was 93 Mercury Cougar. Every other vehicle I've had has not had that issue with that weight of keys. I've had a lot of vehicles too. I've changed vehicles like I've changed shirts, but I ain't trading now. I have my truck and I love my truck. Gary Graham's in the house. Howdy, y'all. Good to see you. Let's see here. Get in the chat. Don't have any more questions. Yeah. And Dave said he's also been driving for 40 years, or 40 plus years. That's fair. Tortoise, looks like he bought one of the key tags. I don't have any fireworks for you, though. You'll have to wait for the fireworks until Thursday. Let's see here. Colin says, do you guys have Vistaprint in the U.S.? A cheap place to make QSL cards and a lot of other stuff. We do have Vistaprint. I do not use Vistaprint because I find them expensive, at least for QSL cards. Let me pull out my QSL card and y'all can see. This is my QSL card here. When I run out of these, I'll probably get new ones with HamShackTV on it. But I designed the logo and all that stuff. But on the back side, it's just like any other QSL card. And then you probably won't be able to read it. Yeah, you can. It says photoqsls.com. photoqsls.com. Not affiliated with them whatsoever. Go check out PhotoQSLs. Whether or not they ship to VK, I don't know. They are a United States company, I know that. Oh, here we go. You know what we gotta do. Wait for it. Play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
All right, let's...
Appreciate the 10 from Jason. No comment there, just tip in the tip jar. Need 8 more yellow super chats or better in order to give away the Baofeng radio tonight of some sort. Don't know what Baofeng it is. I'll find one though. Tortoise says, did I work INCOM for the Helene storm? Okay, so little background on weather. Y'all know I'm a big weather guy. I mean, hellfire. My call sign is AA4WX. So yeah, I'm a weather nerd. I am the assistant coordinator for Skywarn over the Knoxville, Tennessee area. And it just so happens my coordinator was out of the country when Helene came through. He was in Canada on vacation. And I had to do some pre-planning. We were getting alerts left and right about dam failures. Most all of them were in North Carolina, but there was one in Cott County. Yes, I said Cott County. That we'd gotten a failure on, which connects to the Tennessee River, which flows directly through Knoxville and Loudoun County and other areas. So there was a lot of concern about a dam failure, and I had to do some pre-planning. Luckily, we never activated, but we did do some of that planning in order to meet that if we needed to. But I've done a lot of, good Lord, I couldn't even tell you how many Skywarn nets I've ran. Hundreds, I would say. Hundreds of Skywarn nets. Ken, I don't know if I've seen you around here. KQ4 STF QSL cards. Yeah. Colin, I used to get my cards made in the UK. They were cheap, even with postage, but they have gone out of business. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Jason says he is certified through, or he is certified for MCOM, and he did it through Ham Radio Prep. That's right, guys. If you want to up your game when it comes to MCOM, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, MCOM, emergency communications. If you want to up your game and your knowledge and have a little bit more confidence with emergency comms, can't recommend Ham Radio Prep enough. Fantastic program. Ham Radio Prep's not just for getting your license. MCOM, they have a Ham Radio Basics course. Maybe get you more comfortable on the air. And then to get you even more comfortable on HF, which y'all can't see my HF rig right now, but to get you more comfortable on HF, they have an HF masterclass. Guys, hamradiofreakinprep.com. Don't type that in. It's not Ham Radio Freaking Prep. It's hamradioprep.com. You're going to love it. Go check it out. I've got a coupon code for you. Use HamShackTV. You're going to get 10% off your those prices, and they're fantastic especially for those non-licensing courses. So go check them out. HamRadioPrep.com. Coupon code HamShackTV. Why am I getting an alert from Zillow for a $700,000 house? I don't have that kind of money. There is John Bublitz. There he is. You know why I'm making a big deal about John being here? Hang on. Y'all didn't hear it. There it is. That is the new magical sound when we have a new ham or an upgrade. Some of you were here earlier and know this already. John got his extra the other night. Actually, last night. So, KR4CBI Alpha Echo as of right now. I believe it's still Alpha Echo. I don't think it's processed. I haven't checked. So, anytime we get a new or an upgrade that comes in and checks in through the chat, we're going to play that little ding dong. So, congratulations, John. Glad I was with you along the way from tech to extra. Let's see here. Joel Joel says Zillow is relentless once you get on their mailing list. Well, it wasn't a mailing list. It's actually, because I'm in the Apple ecosystem, my push notifications also go to my desktop. So that was the Zillow app. But I've never looked at $700,000 houses, so I don't know why it thinks I'm in the budget for one. Jacob says congratulations to John. Tortoise says, do you have or will you set up a Discord server? Yes, we do have a Discord server. Glad you mentioned that. And as a matter of fact, let me give you all the link if you have not already got it. Let's see here. I know it's on HamShackTV.com. I can tell you that. Right there in the middle of the page. Getting there. Yes. Copy link address. And then, boop. There it is. So, if you're not already in the Discord, guys, click on that link. That'll take you over to the Discord. By the way, for the $10,000 HF radio, or $10,000, I ain't giving away no HF radio worth $10,000. But for the 10,000 subscriber HF radio giveaway, that is part of the requirements in order to be entered. You have to be signed up on the Discord server. 3 requirements. You have to be a subscriber on YouTube, you have to be on the Discord, and you have to subscribe to the newsletter. Newsletter subscription is also available on the website, HamShackTV.com. Oh, dear God. Here we go. Y'all, you got to do better than $22 worth of Super Chats in order for me to give away an Aurora. Let me just put it that way. So, until I start seeing better Super Chats, it's not going to be an Aurora, and y'all are going to get a bunch of... I'm having too much fun with my soundboard here. Oh, no, it's not an Aurora. And $10,000 wouldn't even pay for the best Aurora. Not the one that I would want anyway. Jason says, I got to count the zeros here. 100,000 super chats. Sure, we could do that. 100,000 99-cent super chats. Let's go. Get busy. Oh, Lord, we'd be watching a clip all night. Oh, mercy. What else do we got? Any other... we've been on for about an hour and 10 minutes. Any other AMA questions? Again, ask me anything. Can't say that I've got the answer to everything, but you're more than welcome to ask me anything. The ground rules are nothing personal about family and nothing about finances. Other than that, pretty much an open book. So, yeah, we'll keep going for just a little while here. And, again, we still have not made the Super Chat goal for tonight. 10 yellow Super Chats are better, and which those are $10 a piece. These yellow Super Chats are $10 a piece. 10 of those or better, and we will give away a better Baofeng, maybe a couple of Baofengs, maybe one of those 2-pack deals. But I can promise you this, it ain't going to be the cheapest of the cheap. It'll be a decent Baofeng. Maybe even the DMR Baofeng. We'll see. So, still need 8 more of those Super Chats to make it work. Let's see here. Dave says the 520M is only $95.99. Well, not really. Not really, because you got to factor in shipping and taxes. So, yep, you're over $10,000 there. Here we go. Here's another one. Play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
All right, let's...
$10 closer to the Aurora. Maybe I could work a buy one, get one with Marvin. I doubt that's happening. Appreciate the 10. So we are now 7 Super Chats away from giving away another radio here tonight. Let's see here. John says best POTA radio and antenna in my opinion. Okay. I can't speak from experience. But what I'm leaning to, here's what I would do if it were me right now. And this could change tomorrow. What I'm hearing is people are absolutely loving the end-fed biscuit. And that's not because Andy's a friend, and that's not because, he does things for the channel. I have to go with what I'm hearing from the people on that. I'm hearing great, great things about the end-fed biscuit from N0APX antennas. N0APX.com. Go check it out. I think that's where I would start a 20-meter biscuit. As far as the radio goes, depends on your budget. Really depends on your budget. If you're on a shoestring budget, probably a Zygu of some sort. I forget the model number. There's one that's only a few $100s, and then the G90 is like $400. If money is no issue, and it depends on what you want out of it. If you're okay QRP, that changes things. If you're okay QRP, I say do a 705, an ICOM 705. I'm a big fan of ICOM radios. If you don't want to be QRP, and for those of you listening, QRP is low power, if you don't know what that is. If you don't want to be QRP, I would probably, and I'm taking a gamble saying this, I would probably go FT1X or FTX1 or whatever it is, but do the Optima, not the Field, because the Field is the QRP. The Optima has, I'd probably do the Optima anyway, because it's got the antenna tuner as well, but it does $100. Here we go, I'm thinking about Super Chats. It does does 100 watts because it's got a 100 watt amplifier. So probably the FTX one. is your best bet. But again, it gets pricey when you're getting into that. Your G90 doesn't have a tuner, and it's going to be QRP. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just making sure I hadn't missed one from Jason. I just saw it. Let's scroll down here and see what else we got. Boy, I got lost in the chat here. Let me catch up. Check Discord, Josh. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. Dave says if you want 100 watts, probably the FT891. I didn't even think about that, Dave. That's not a bad thought. The 891, but it doesn't come with a tuner. However, if you're using a biscuit, tuner's probably not in factor. That's pretty much a monoband antenna. But yeah, FT891. I'm not a big fan of the 891 just in the terms of how it operates. I think the buttons are weird on it. I've sat down at 1 or 2 or 3 times at field day, and it's really, really hard for me to comprehend. But I guess if you got used to it, it'd be one thing. John says, want at least 10, 20, and 40 meter antenna tuner and lightweight. If you're willing to separate the tuner, get you an 891. Get you I don't even know what it is off the top of my head. An LDG, I think it's an L100 or something like that. LDG makes great tuners. And then, of course, the biscuit or an MCOM or some sort of a wire antenna. Wire antennas are certainly the way to go on POTA, if you ask me. Dave agrees, the infed biscuit. Joel asks, would the Aurora work on POTA? Yes and no. You can operate the Aurora mobile, but it wouldn't count as POTA. Because there's an internet involved with, remotely accessing it. And beyond that, your transmitter's not technically located in the park. And when I say transmitter, I mean the actual transmitter and the antenna. It's not actually in the park. So the Aurora, I would not say would work. That is a very heavy, big radio. Very heavy and very big. Jason says biscuit, G90. Not sure what a 910 is. Andy's asking single sideband or CW. John says up to 700, 800, looking at 6100. Is that the Zygu? I think that sounds right. Dave says the 891 is on sale at DX Engineering right now for $629. Let me check Amazon, see what the Amazon price is looking like. Yep. Go with DX. I don't have any affiliation with DX, but that's a good deal. The Amazon 891s are $779. So $629 is a really good deal for the 891. They claim it's a bundle. You get the radio and you get a quick reference guide card. You're sending me a piece of paper and calling it a bundle? You're dumb. That's stupid. Colin says, well, bugger. Just noticed I've been on my infed all morning and not my vertical for 15 meters. Oh, no. Gary says, I just finished building an infed half-wave 20-watt K6 ARK kit. That's awesome. Jason says 6100 or Icon 7100. Okay, 7100 is great if you're putting it in your vehicle. I don't know if I would use it for POTA. And that's just a purple, or like getting out of your vehicle with it and going to sit at a picnic table. Some people are okay with that. Probably not for me. If for something like that, I would probably want an all-in-one unit, not something that's separated. And there is no way to combine the head and the body of the radio. They're permanently separate. Tortoise has reminded me to check my Discord. I'll be there in just a minute. Let's see here. DEF says, hey, good to see you, buddy. Glad to see you back. Andy says Zygu G90 is an awesome budget radio. It is. And the G90 does have a tuner. That's right. That is right. I forgot about that. G90 may be your way to go, John. Maybe. Joel says a lot of POTA people do operate QRP. And you're not wrong. You're not wrong. A lot of them do. I am not a QRP guy. I want power. That's just me. Call me Tim the Toolman Taylor. I can't do it like he does, but yeah. I want power. I'm not a QRP guy. Adam says G90 can tune a piece of grass if it needed to. I bet you're right. Lord have mercy. The chat is going nuts here. Tortoise says Aurora in the park. Yeah, probably not. The Aurora is only 18 pounds, and you could actually take it to the park if you would. I would not take a $6,000 to $14,000 radio into a park for anything ever. If you wanted to, you go for it, but I ain't putting that kind of risk on that darn thing. Bob says, what would you hang the infed from if you don't have any trees around? Light, easy to carry around. I'm new to the HF side and haven't got started yet. You don't have any trees. A lot of times if you don't have trees, you can find a tripod. And I tell you this, I've seen it many Hamfest, but one that sticks out is Raleigh. When I was at Rars Fest, there was a military surplus, and you can find a lot of these at military surplus stores and things like that. But they have old tripods that you can crank up quite a bit in the air. That's probably the first thing I would do. Andy's recommending the POTA 20 or the POTA 33 from Gigaparts, and I'll pull that up and let y'all look at that. And I want to mention the producer of this week of Amateur Radio is in here, George. Good to see you, George. W2XBS did a good video yesterday about this week in Amateur Radio. Y'all got to see the behind the scenes of me doing the recording for that. Let's see here, Gigaparts. One radio that I would not recommend for POTA is probably a 991. I've had a 991. Many of you have 991s. That radio is far too heavy. I wouldn't take my 7300 in the park. Probably. I don't think I would. Too heavy. You want lightweight. Portable handheld mast. Okay, I see what this is. Yeah, that could work. A little bit pricey, but that could work. They're lightweight. It's carbon fiber. Yeah, that could certainly work. This is an Ask Me Anything stream, guys. Welcome in. Appreciate y'all being here. We're going to go for just a little bit longer. We still need 7 more Super Chats, $10 or greater, in order to give away the HF radio. Not the HF radio. I did it again. Oh, my Lord. My brain is just absolutely shot. I'm not giving away an HF radio tonight, guys, unless I miraculously hit 10,000 subscribers. 7 more Super Chats, $10 or greater, we will give away an HT tonight. Probably a Balfang of some sort. Let's see here. Dave says he used his 710 today on an activation. 710, I don't remember what the weight was like on that, but I mean, I guess you can. It depends on... For me, it depends on how much weight. And where am I going? Am I just getting out of the car and walking 10 feet to a freaking picnic table? Okay, I can deal with some weight for that. Or am I taking a hike, maybe a mile into the woods or up a mountain or something like that? Yeah, I don't want a 30-pound radio on my back. I just don't. But yeah, I guess it depends on your logistics, what you're actually doing. George says Rick KB2 MOB streams live on Rumble when he records us. Puts himself in the DAW on the screen. Digital audio workstation, guys. If you don't have audio knowledge, DAW is digital audio workstation. So go check out my video from yesterday. You'll see that. I don't do Rumble. I've heard Ham Radio 2.0 talk about Rumble before, but I haven't gotten into Rumble yet. Christopher's in the house. Good to see you again, buddy. FT710 has been my HF portable of choice with a 25-foot vertical. Problem I've had with verticals is you're not hearing a lot of DX. It seems like you hear a lot more local-ish regional traffic, like 500, maybe 1,000 miles away. Vertical's fine if that's what you want. I prefer wire antennas though. Jacob's leaving. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you being here. 710 is a great radio. I had one, loved it. I got curious about the ICOM ecosphere, and that's why I'm an ICOM guy now. For the most part, I broke up with ICOM on my HT. It's sitting in there next to the bed. I broke up with them on my HT. I sold my 52 and got a Kenwood D75. Just does a little bit more than the ICOM 52 does. Joel says, I play a Mean Gene Okerlund clip and don't do Rumble. I see what you're doing there, but no, I don't. I can't even tell you if I've ever been on Rumble, to be honest with you. I don't know if I ever have been. I can't remember. I couldn't even tell you what their logo looks like. George says, Balfangs are yesterday. The hot HTs here in Albany are Radtail. I don't know a single person with Radtail, at least locally. So maybe that's a local thing up there. I don't know. Most people are doing Radiolity, Balfang. I'm running a blank. TYT. I can't think of the other one. Anyway. Yeah. Andy asks, what is my favorite digital audio workstation? Probably, without a shadow of a doubt, it's Adobe Audition. I love Audition. I love all Adobe products. Matter of fact, I edit videos in Premiere Pro, but Audition, it works flawlessly. Love it. If you don't want to pay for Audition, though, let's say I didn't have a budget to have Adobe Audition, I would probably use Audacity. Audacity works great, too. Let's see here. Colin says, verticals are great for 15 and 10 meters. I like my G5 RV for 40 and 80. InFed works okay, but not quite as good for 80 meters. Dave says, I have a 9700, but to me, ICOM is way behind and need to come up with some new technology. The receivers are better. Or no, wait a minute, that's Jesus. We can get into this debate. It's the same thing as a Mac versus PC, or an iOS versus Android, or a ketchup or mustard on a hot dog debate. It's personal opinion. My issue with Yaesu radios is the interface. I hate the interface on them. I can navigate and find anything I want on this 7300 within seconds. Whereas I'm buried deep in menus trying to find what I need to do on Yaesu radios. Now, of course, if you have the higher end, like the FT101MP, FTDX 101MP, yeah, you don't have to dive in those menus so much because you got buttons and knobs for that stuff. But no, I can change bands and do stuff really easily on the iComs. That's what I like. Anytone, yes, Tortoise reminds me. Anytones are very popular. Not cheap, but Anytones are very popular. I have an Anytone 878 up there for DMR. KB5 UTY, Dave's in the house. Hey, buddy, good to see you. I need to get with you about coming on for Seed. Driving and listening. Appreciate you being here, Dave. Good to see you tonight. Colin and VK says Waxon, as I call him. I believe the Chinese call them Ocean or something like that. Radios are great, but not many sell them, or not as many sell them. I will tell you, specifically, if I'm buying an Ocean radio, Waxon Ocean, whatever you want to call it, I'm buying it from Better Safe Radio. Not because I have an affiliate program with them. No. I think you get better bang for your buck with them. No struggle with programming the thing. Mark over at Better Safe Radio programs them automatically for you. They have 999 memory channels, and your frequencies will be in there when you get it. You don't have to do any programming to it. It's already done. But BetterSaferRadio.com, and I do have a discount code with them. If you spend $100 or greater with Better Safe Radio, you can use coupon code AA4WX7. And that will save you 7%. So, yeah, BetterSaferRadio.com. Check them out. Andy says, Audition over Pro Tools and Studio One. I know nothing about Studio One. I've never seen it. Pro Tools, I'm hearing a baby crying, but it's not my baby. It's my wife watching something on her phone. Oh, me. But the college that I'm involved with, I'm still working on my associate's degree, guys, at 36 years old. But the college I work with has a working relationship with Avid. I am not a fan of Avid. I hate Avid. I think it's clunky. It's a terrible video. Well, terrible is a strong word, but it's a very difficult to understand video nonlinear editor. My understanding is Pro Tools is very, very heavily connected to Avid. And the little bit that I've been in Pro Tools, it feels a lot like Avid. So no, I'm not a Pro Tools guy. TED Radio, as Bob reminded me, TED is really big here. I'm running TED Radio or TED H3s and H8s for the money, not about HT. Have your own opinions. TED sent me a radio to test and to review. And several of you saw that video. It was not a fun review. It was a terrible review. And I did it right here live. I didn't want to hide anything. I wanted to do it live. That was the most frustrating radio I've ever had to program. Ever. That Bluetooth programming is a piece of trash. Doesn't work. I don't know if they sent me a crap model or not. But, yeah, it was not a good device. But I have heard other people have other experience with them. But yeah, to each their own on that one. George says Adobe Audition is the broadcast standard, and that's the other part of it, Andy. Being in the broadcast world, that's what you work with typically is Audition. Whereas if you're in like a recording studio or something like that for music, yeah, Pro Tools is probably where you're going to be. It's way too powerful for like podcasting or something like that. Way too powerful. Andy says LOL. Dave says, I'm not a Yaesu fanboy. They sell pretty good here in the States, and that he can't type tonight. Are you a hunt and pecker, or do you actually have typing? Like, what do they call that? I forget what the standard is. Gary's got to go. 73, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. Bob says the 935H is on his list. Falcon 880. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but if you have been here before, welcome back. If not, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Does anyone make mobile HF, VHF, UHF, or is there a company coming out with one? Yes, they do. Well, I'll just tell you what I got. ICOM 7300. It's a little bit older of a radio, but I find it fantastic. That's the one I have. You can justifiably say, I think the FTX one would work mobile. I think 705. I know some people that have 705s in their vehicles, but again, you're going to get low power on that. It's going to be QRP for HF. But yeah, there's HF mobiles out there for sure. The used ones are more expensive than 2 new radios for both purposes. Yep. Andy's gone to bed. 73, buddy. Appreciate you. George says, I'm working with an all ham operated 24/7 music radio station. George, I need to have a conversation with you about that. I've got something in mind that I'm talking with Ham Radio 2.0 about. I forgot that you did that. Maybe we can work together on something. But yeah, we need to talk about that. Dave says Adobe has gotten outrageous with cloud pricing. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is what it is. Don't hunt and peck, but I'm not a fast typer. Gotcha. The Optima can be made mobile. I figured it probably could. Yasu just admitted that it can be separated with a cable. That's good. That's good. All right, guys, we're going to sit here for we've been on for an hour and 37 minutes. Didn't even plan on being on here this long, but we have not made our Super Chat goal. And we only have 17 minutes left to make that Super Chat goal. 10 yellow Super Chats are better. $10 or better, and I will give away some sort of an HT tonight. Balfang, something like that. I may look at the Rad Tail just for George's purposes or something like that. But yeah, we'll look into it. But it'll be some sort of an HT tonight. Let's see here. George says, voice call anytime, never been on HF, no interest down there. Gotcha. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Some people just don't have interest in HF. Some don't. I didn't for a very long time. The only time I fooled with HF was field day, or if I went to the Tentec factory. Otherwise, it was all VHF and UHF. Well, more VHF than anything. For the longest time, I didn't even have 440 capabilities, and it wasn't until a couple months ago I didn't have anything 220. So yeah, it's part of it. Any more Ask Me Anythings? Any more AMA questions? Any questions? No, again, ground rules are no financial questions and no private family questions. 15 minutes left in the Super Chat goal. Give me just a minute, guys. I'll be back in just a second. coming back in here. I see in the chat, Tortoise said he gotta pee. I think when I read that, the first thing I thought of was Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump. It's one of my favorite movies. But the scene when he's meeting President Kennedy, when Forrest is meeting President Kennedy, and President Kennedy asks him, "How's it feel to be an All-American?" "I gotta pee." I'm just reading through here, seeing what I missed. George said, did you talk about the satellite company getting permission to use 70 centimeters experimentally? I haven't heard about that. Now, mind you, I only read my stories. I didn't read the rest of them. That might be interesting. Matter of fact, I don't know if this week's episode has been published yet, guys, but we do simulcast This Week in Amateur Radio here on HamShackTV. Let me see here. Wrong email address. I've got too many email addresses to keep up with. There's George. Script. Oh, and yes, Tortoise, I'll get to your Discord message here in a minute. Story 13. Thought I had 13. No, I had 15 and 18. All right. Preview here. I'm going to read this. Oh, and this is the lead story. So, when you do listen to This Week in Amateur Radio this week, guys, you will hear a different voice read this. So, let me do it in my podcast voice. The FCC has approved an experimental license for the satellite of a 5G mobile provider, and the license approves use of some amateur radio frequencies. AST Space Mobile, the Texas-based rival of SpaceX, has been approved for an experimental license to test a low Earth orbit satellite that is the prototype for its planned mobile phone connectivity from space. The United States Federal Communications Commission granted the license on Friday, July 11th, giving the company the ability to test a satellite that has a phased array antenna that enables it to function from a cell tower from space. Function as a cell tower from space. Known as FM1, it is at the center of the 5G broadband provider's hopes to build a satellite-to-phone internet system. The FCC has assigned the call sign WP2XRX, which expires on July 1st, 2027. A copy of the license online shows that it authorizes experimental operation only on the 37.5 gigahertz through 42 gigahertz and 2.235 gigahertz and 2.245 gigahertz for mobile satellite services. The amateur radio frequencies 430 through 440 megahertz also appear on the license. The 5G service requested those frequencies to conduct telemetry, tracking, and telecommand between ground stations and its satellites. The company seeks FCC approval for operation of 248 low Earth orbit non-geostationary satellites. Its present license only permits 5. AST Space Mobile has been developing its network in association with AT&T and Verizon. SpaceX is partnering with T-Mobile. Wow. Okay. Not good, folks. This is not good at all. The good news is there's several other bands that they're fooling with, okay? 37.5 gigahertz through 42 gigahertz, 2.235 gigahertz, and 2.245 gigahertz. But also 430 through 440. That's a problem. That is a big problem, y'all. These mobile phone companies, 5G is trying its best to kill amateur radio. I can tell you that. Love 5G. Got 5G on my phone, and I love that. But yeah, that's very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. What do y'all think? Get in the chat. Tell me what you think. Thanks for pointing that out, George. I didn't even read that. Dave says they're going to try to take more frequency from us. Yes, they are. And Colin says only around a day left to leave comments to the FCC. More information there at the, I'm not going to read that, but that URL there if you want to check that out. George is saying check story 7 too. Meanwhile, AST Space Mobile and NextNav continue to receive pushback from groups opposing the potential encroachment of amateur radio spectrum by these companies. Communications Daily reports that Connected Devices for America Coalition held a meeting with the Federal Communications Commission voicing their concerns over NextNav's proposed restructuring of the 900 megahertz band. The coalition described the band as a workhorse for unlicensed innovation. Separately, an amateur radio operator based in Germany has filed a petition with the FCC to oppose AST Space Mobile's request to utilize and take control of portions of the 70 centimeter band, which is located as secondary to amateur radio use. Allocated. I don't know why I said located. The comment period for AST Space Mobile request to utilize amateur spectrum is open through July 21st, 2025. Yeah, and that goes right there with what Colin said. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to give you guys the link to this. Got some breaking news here tonight. How about that? I'm trying to find the link. Has anybody got the link for making comments on it? If you do, drop it in the chat, because you only have 2 more days to comment on this. Right. There it is. Dave's got it. Is that correct? I see a parentheses in the middle of it. If that's correct, let's try it. Hey, George, thank you for letting me syndicate it, buddy. I appreciate it. That's that it's well received. Well received. I'm seeing more and more people watching it from my side every day, watching/listening. Let me see here. Good night, Leroy. Appreciate you, buddy. Good to see you. Let's see. That's it. Use this link, guys. This link right here is perfect. Get in there and make your comment. We do not want them to take away 440 from us. We do not want that. Keep the 70 centimeter band. All right, let me check the Super Chat Goal. 5 minutes left in the Super Chat Goal, and we still need 7 more Super Chats, $10 or better, for the giveaway. And I tell you what I'll do, since we're getting a little low in the Super Chats. If somebody does a $70 Super Chat, we'll call it done. We'll call it done and good. $70 Super Chat will give away that HT, whatever it may be. So, yeah. Let's see here. What else we got here? Don't use that link. Use the one on AMSAT. It auto-fills the form with reference number. So if you want to go check that out, you can. Colin's link right here on this one a few chats ago. And some of you may be wondering where George is coming from. George is actually watching on Facebook. So we are streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and we've also added Twitch to the middle of it. So maybe we'll get some gamers or something watch us. Let's see here. Dave says we've already lost a big chunk of 220. You're right. George says it's not well received here in our backyard. They have effectively knocked TWIAR off of the local repeater, so we like outlets like you. No, I do not use your Restream. Everything comes out of StreamYard. I can multi-stream to, well, pretty much as many platforms as I want from StreamYard. Just about missed it. Yep. George, to your point, there's a lot of people out there that just absolutely just are infatuated with the ARRL. So be it. Whatever, Everybody knows my stance on the ARRL. 3 minutes left in the Super Chat Goal. Here's the issue. If I'm not mistaken, Newsline is associated with ARRL, and I feel like for some reason Newsline gets picked up more than we do, and that's a shame because I think our broadcast is better. I really do, and that's not because I do it. I really think ours is better. So anyway, don't think we're gonna make this Super Chat Goal tonight unless somebody throws in 70 or something else like that. Let's see here. Colin says, otherwise you will need to manually enter proceedings, specify the FCC proceeding to which your filing refers to, which is 25201. 25201. So if you use Dave's link, you're going to need that number, 25201. But if you use Colin's link, supposedly it autofills for you, so that's great. 2 minutes left in the Super Chat Goal. Need 7 $10 Super Chats or one $70 Super Chat or something like that. We need it to total $70, and we'll give away an HT of some sort. Don't think it's going to happen tonight, though, y'all. It's just not looking good. Not looking like it. Any other questions? Because once this Super Chat Goal expires, I'm going to bed probably. Or at least going to do something else. I don't know. Again, this was the Ask Me Anything show, so anything's up for grabs, up to talk about. Any questions you have about me or anything like that. A lot of good questions. A lot of really good questions tonight. But no financial questions or questions about the family, if you don't mind. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Hope y'all are enjoying the content. What mic is this? This is the Audio-Technica AT2020. That's the one I told you about. Love this mic, y'all. Love this mic. It has been so good. It's a little more directional than I like because you can tell as I move my head around the mic, it sounds different. It sounds different, especially if I'm coming at it from the side. It sounds different. Of course, I don't have the pop filter on this side. But I have to be practically right up on it for it to sound good. That's the only issue I have. And that's why a lot of people, I see people in the comments all the time, they're like, why don't you make eye contact with the camera? Well, it's really kind of hard for me to, This is the only way I can do it, the way I'm holding it right now. I'm going to get y'all a link if you're interested in the microphone that I've got. It's a great mic nonetheless, though. If you do any kind of podcasting or anything like that, I certainly recommend it. There it is. It's not too expensive either. $239 as of right now. So if y'all are interested in, where's my chat? If y'all are interested in the microphone, that's the one to get. Super Chat Goal is over, folks. We didn't make it. But do appreciate the three yellow Super Chats are better. And think we did all right. Tortoise has asked me what frequency I'm on. Well, I'm not on any frequency right now, but the radio is turned on at the moment. On HF, I'm sitting at 5357, so 60 meters. And for some reason that mic, I got a error on the YouTube or the Facebook for that. So this is the link to that microphone if you need it. So 60 meters for FT8 on the 7300 right now. Up here on my 5100, I have WB4 GBI English Mountain repeater, which is 146.73. And on the other side, I have Mount Mitchell. Don't know why I have Mount Mitchell dialed in. I can't hit it from home, but that's the 145.19 over in North Carolina. Up there on the DV Mega right now, I have DMR Talk Group 314742 up there. I know it's boring, but that's my local club's talk group. It's actually, that talk group number is actually registered to KK4XA, but it's difficult. It's that particular repeater is permanently linked to our analog repeater. All right, I can't talk. One last call. Any other questions for the Ask Me Anything tonight? Any other questions? Final call. George says, just got a DMR HT Radtel 4D. I'm not familiar with that one. Let me look it up here. It says Radtel 4D. Okay, not a bad price on that, y'all. Not a bad price. Let me give y'all a link. Y'all check this out. I think you'll like it. $52, United States dollars. I know Collins and VK, but not bad. Not bad at all. That's actually at a discount. Usually it's $65.99 on Amazon. $52. DMR. Go for it. Do it. Good job, George. That was a good one. Jeep and Boone. Not seen you here before. Appreciate you coming in tonight. Been up there many ways here in East Tennessee. Greetings from Louisiana, or Louisiana as I say it. KG5RYH. I feel like I've heard your call sign before. Who knows? Between HF, D-Star, DMR, Fusion, Analog, probably. But appreciate you being here, Jeepin. Good to see you. Guys, let's wrap this thing up. My wife's texted me again. Where you at? Where you at? Need to cut it out. George says, check out the Radtel RT90, the best HT deal out there. Transmit on 10.6.2 at ATC. Comes with a band scope too. 25 bucks. That's my... Really? You gotta be kidding me. Stand by. RT900. That seems like a lot of radio for a small price. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I'd still choose my Kenwood D75 over it. Just because it literally does almost everything. Literally does everything. But guys, if you're interested in that and what George has got there, the Radtel RT900, that is a great deal. That is a great deal. Links in the chat there. All right, fellers. Tortoise says, wrap it up. I'll take it. Wrap it up. I ain't heard that song in years. Long time. Seems like I remember Crystal had a commercial that had that song. Or Sonic, one or the other. But anyway, guys, it's been fun. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate the super chats we've gotten tonight. Don't forget, This Week in Amateur Radio will come on the HamShackTV YouTube channel here. If it's not already there, it should be there in the next day or so. Guys, don't forget, check out all the links down in the description. Those certainly support the channel. Why did I cut the music off? Those certainly support the channel and all that great stuff. Appreciate World Radio League. Appreciate Ham Radio Prep. Links down in the description along with some discount codes. We'll see you in the next video. Don't forget, we'll be back this Thursday night with the HamShackTV Trading Post and Roundtable. We'll see you on the next one. 73s, everybody. AA4WX, WSCB 693. I didn't forget. I'm trying to navigate the new buttons. We'll see y'all. And no, Jason, I did not forget you.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
All right,
Oh, stop the music. Stop the music. Stop the music. I forgot something. Tortoise asked me about something. He wanted me to check the chat, and I totally forgot. Let me share something here. Well, it's my stream. Of course I can share it. Window. All right, so slightly over a 15-foot tall, acts like a 4-inch steel pipe when fully erected. It is an inflatable vertical. What? But rolls up to fit in pocket. Resonant on 20 meters, but tunable to 80 and 6. Will be available in 2 weeks. RelianceAntennas.com. So this was talking about the POTA antennas. Holy crap. Y'all seeing this? That's pretty cool. Inflated antenna. Huh. Let me do some digging on that. That's an interesting concept for sure. Very, very interesting concept. Just wonder how much RF it can take. If it's inflatable, I would be worried heat might cause damage to something that's inflatable. Kind of looks like Mylar to me. And I don't know if Mylar can handle heat. Tortoise says 1,500 watt. The proof will be in the pudding. Well, hopefully they'll be at Huntsville or Dayton or something. That's interesting. Colin says they have had VHF Marine versions for a long time that are from emergency use. Interesting. Jeep says an inflatable antenna. Tortoise says tested for one last year. Joel says, I'm picturing one of those advertisement waving arm guys. See him at cell phone stores and vape shops and everything else. Jeepin says, I want. It'd be interesting, guys. I'm going to look into this. I want to know more about it. Hopefully, like I said, they'll be at Huntsville here in a few weeks. A month or so, whatever. Yes, we're a month away from Huntsville. Hopefully, they'll be down there. I'm interested. I'm interested in this. That's a game changer if that's the case. All right. Going to bed, y'all. Good night. And I'm not playing the clip again, Jason. See y'all. Appreciate you. 73s, AA4WX, WSCB 690.